Patrick Quinn, who is speaking to someone who witnessed something. They're on the ground in Midtown. Patrick?
Well, Tracy, we're getting a better sense of the panic that was really felt midday. A lot of people just grabbing lunch. I was able to talk with a nurse who actually is on the 11th floor, and she told me, she didn't want to talk on camera, but she told me what happened. She heard the gunshot. She was in the back. It all happened in the waiting room, and she told me she was really proud of her coworkers and the protocol that they went into. When on lockdown, she was eventually ushered out into a safe space before they were moved to a local hotel to stand by. But also in the area was, in fact, a state senator, Josh McLaurin, having lunch with, I understand, an old friend when all of a sudden, what happened?
Yeah, we were just at lunch catching up. I was just going to do a lunch hour here in Midtown and then go to another part of the city, and started hearing people in the restaurant talking about, hey, there's a lockdown, we can't leave, there's an active shooter next door at the building where my primary care doctor is. So I'd never been that close to an active shooter before. We were in there for 2 or 3 hours.
Tuesday, middle of the day, you were having lunch, trying to catch up. What was the scene like? What'd you seen? I imagine it was panic as you're seeing law enforcement come and go?
It was very sudden, obviously. I mean, there's a ton of police presence directly outside the restaurant, so I think we were pretty well assured that even though we locked the doors and everything, that nobody was going to be coming into the restaurant. We got reminded by police several times that we were on lockdown. I mean, I think the overwhelming sense was just, stress, very high level of stress, even if it's all calm and cool inside the building you're in. And I was just struck by thinking, I mean, this is how we've chosen to live, right? It's a policy decision to live this way and to subject thousands of people in this area and then the tens of thousands of their family members and loved ones to this type of elevated stress, uncertainty, fear about what's happening to their loved ones during a crisis like this.
Senator McLaurin, we're less than a month out from the end of the session. We just heard from Senator Raphael Warnock. He mentioned about the presence of guns that we're seeing, the call to action that he feels like he needs to see in Capitol Hill. What about for you? I mean, is it too early to talk politics after this shooting just a few hours in, and what needs to change?
I don't know how else to respond to a situation like this and somebody in my role as somebody who helps make laws, except to talk about what we should be doing as a society about a problem like this. And it's come out that this person had a mental health history and probably acted out of it. And if we had a red flag law, for example, one that, the Republican governor in Tennessee is considering because of something that happened to his family friend, we would start to see movement. I just don't think we should live in a society where the only time you see politicians act on gun violence is when they're personally affected. I mean, that's a sad state of affairs. So what I'd really like to see is for there to be bipartisan support, if we really care so much about improving mental health outcomes in this state, to recognize that guns should not be in the hands of people like the shooter today.
And you mentioned personally affected. I mean, you were just right there. I know you don't want laws to come out of that. Well, we have to let you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm glad you're safe.
Thank you.
Thank you for spending a couple minutes with us. Guys, back to you.